Hey, Riot podcasters. Nikki's been lifting weights.
I was lifting something in the back, and I think it was too much.
But you know what? You're stronger now.
But I'm back, and I'm in here, and I'm fine, and we're
Feeling good.
And now let's talk about food in this podcast.
Lots of food, actually. I asked a couple times. It's not all in here, but I asked people what they have for breakfast. And, what do you think about breakfast? You want some breakfast? What are you eating for breakfast?
Don't overthink about it. Just tell us what you had for breakfast, and then that way we're gathering a poll or like a study.
You know what? I'm just curious what other people eat for breakfast, and you can find it on the Riot's Facebook page, Radio U Riot. I will also tell you in this podcast we discuss whether or not you'd be willing to get rid of your phone in order to go into a concert. And so that is on the Radio U Facebook page. Let us know what you think. But Jack White and a few other artists are saying, like, you literally have to hand your phone over and they will lock it up. And can you imagine how long it must take to get out of that concert?
Because everybody's got to get their phone. Actually, that's a really good point. And how long it takes to get in.
That sounds awful.
Okay, now that's another layer.
It's even worse.
It's even worse than when we talk about it.
Other things in the podcast, cheap Windows laptops, cruises are the best vacations. Obadiah has a wine list, Burger King and net neutrality, snakes in the mail, Nintendo, Antarctic evil. Just the basic stuff.
I know, you're so excited.
Just the basic stuff. So.
Enjoy the podcast for today, and we hope you have a wonderful one.
Okay, bye, everybody. Bye.
Sure, the Riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on Radio U.
A lot of people sounding off. I asked you what you have for breakfast. Noah, he's in Delaware. He's a professional bodybuilder, he says.
So I'm sure his is not the pies that the other guy was eating.
He says he wakes up dreaming of apple fritters, then he drinks a carton of pasteurized egg whites and a cup of plain oatmeal.
Oh, boy.
Andy really is eating single-serving pies. They're not Hostess pies. He's eating a pie.
No, I've seen those before. It's not like a pie size. They're still mini ones.
I'm telling you, when I look at it, it looks like bro's just eating a pie. Yeah. Stephanie says she has a frozen breakfast sandwich and lots of water. She's hungry within 10 minutes, and lunch feels like 8 hours away. Yeah.
That's breakfast for you, isn't it?
I know exactly what you're going through right there. We do. Which is why, as everybody's texting me their breakfasts, all I think is, you need to go on vacation. You need to go on a cruise.
Ooh, and have like a buffet breakfast. Can you imagine that?
I imagine that all the time. Like, I'm always thinking about a buffet.
Like, think about how often we go to a buffet. It's not often, but like, there's something amazing about you could wake up and have breakfast already made and as much of it as you want. I know this sounds really lazy, but I love the fact that it's not just that it's prepared, but you've taken the mental gymnastics completely out of it. You go to a buffet, you don't have to... you do have to pick what you want, but it's already made. There's a lot of choices.
Go to a restaurant, you're looking at a menu, and it's like, I don't know, I guess this is good, but we both know it's not going to be as good as this picture, don't we? We both know that's true. You go to a buffet, you walk in, I already know what it looks like because it's prepared in front of me. I can have as much as I want or as little as I want. I just wanted a bite of that.
You can eat a bite and then just chuck the rest.
You're just done. No big deal.
Now, I know with cruises, you're rolling the dice because we've never been on one, but to us, the only time we hear about them is if there's an outbreak of sorts.
Mm-hmm. Well, Nikki, I have science right now telling me why you need to go on a cruise. University of China has done a study, and they say that cruise vacations are the best because they improve 3 types of well-being: emotional well-being, relational well-being, and thinking.
Can't just say that, though. What's the reason why?
They say that cruising is a unique type of vacation because it combines the best parts of vacation, but it removes a great deal of the effort. So
it's all right there.
You're traveling, but you're not in charge of the travel.
Yeah.
You're going places, but someone's setting it.
You're not steering the ship.
You're not. But someone is taking care of, you're getting variety, but you're not in charge of the variety. Someone else is lining all that up for you. They're doing all of that. You're entertained, and there's variety in the entertainment. I feel like I'm doing a commercial, but these are their findings. They say there's variety in the entertainment, so you have a lot of different options. And there's luxury. You feel like you are luxuriating because someone else is cooking, someone else is driving, everybody. And then finally, it also lets you meet new people.
Yeah, but that can be said about most vacations at any resort.
Well, is it all inclusive? Can I go to the buffet and not feel like I don't have to think about the money?
Probably not.
Because that's part of the thing to me that I love is, you go on a cruise, which I haven't, and I'm too afraid of it because Titanic, but you just go in and you're like, you know what? I don't have to think about what I want to eat. It's there. And I don't have to think like, well, we'll save money on lunch and then on dinner maybe we'll. Like, no, this is just like.
Just eat what you eat.
Whatever, whenever, bro. Go to it.
I'm still a little nervous. I'm also afraid, like, what if
you. Noro's?
Yeah, what if you get, like, some sort of sickness? Or what if you get seasick? What if it takes you a while and you're just not used to it? I feel like it is still a big gamble to make sure I would enjoy it.
I don't know. I think, again. Ever since I was a kid, I don't know why, but I'm terrified of being on a sinking boat. So, like...
It's not sinking. It's thinking about sinking.
I know. But I don't think I could do it. But the idea of an all-inclusive resort sounds good, but nobody ever likes... Those always seem like, ooh, who wants to go on that? But a cruise is just a floating all-inclusive resort, and everybody's like, oh, yeah.
That's different.
That's perfect.
Don't know.
I'm a land guy. I'm not mad at myself about it.
The worst of the riot has no expiration date. It's born spoiled. It's the riot on Radio U.
Have you guys went ahead? Did you go ahead and buy yourself a new laptop yet? Have you? I've got a $1,500 one that I think is going to be perfect for you. No, I kid. The real money is in low-end laptops these days. Because what happens? You go to school, and everybody gets to sign out their own Chromebook. And it's your Chromebook forever. Well, until the end of the year. I was
going to say, like, usually not forever.
So here's what's happening. You spend all those times in school using a Chromebook.
So not as many people nowadays need their own laptop outside of that.
Well, what I was going to say is that when you get out, do you say to yourself, hey, I need this $1,500 laptop? You're like, I can get a Chromebook for $150.
You're so used to it at that point.
It's like, whatever. I'll just take this low-end thing that lets me type on it. Of course, everybody loves a purty new Mac, but still, Microsoft is getting nervous because if you grow up using a Chromebook, you start to ask questions that make companies like Microsoft uncomfortable. Questions like, what the heck do I need Windows for?
Well, here's the biggest one that most don't like, the question of, well, do I really need this?
I don't need this. Like, I need to type and surf the internet. This is $150. Why do I need your thing?
So are they worried that people won't be done with school and then perhaps need the more advanced setup?
No, Nikki, they don't say that.
But they're worried about it.
They don't say that. In fact, they're not going to say anything like that at all. But they did. Oh, well, what's this? Come out with a brand new Windows 10 S laptop, $189. And it comes with Office 365 for students. So the idea here is like, oh, they got a cheap laptop? Well, we got a cheap laptop, too. And it's got the Windows on it.
Yeah, it usually determines if, like, your school's getting it for you. Like if they already have theirs.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, this is for your own personal usage. But, of course, if schools are like, I mean, you can just hear the rep coming in like, you know what? Show me right now. How many businesses use Chromebooks? Okay, we're getting your students ready for the real world.
The real world, right.
Where they're going to be using Microsoft Windows in the business world, okay? And look at the deal I can get you on a couple of laptops at $189.
That's pretty cheap for a laptop.
It is pretty cheap, but I mean, have you ever used a Chromebook before?
No, not really.
Okay, they are...
I've seen one, but not used it.
I don't want to be mean, but they're cheap.
Sure.
They are
it is super what it is.
They're super basic, but the other side of it is, like, you can... Nikki, what do you and I do with our laptops every morning? Surf Chrome. Guess what those do?
Chrome.
Where do we do all of our word processing and document writing?
Chrome. Google Docs.
Google Docs. Guess what those do? Chrome. Google Docs. So
you're right. That's all you need.
You know what? Like, pretty soon, all of my thinking is going to be done through a Google device. So arguably, I'm not doing much of it now anyway, so what matters? But yeah, if you decide that you want a cheap laptop, Microsoft's going to sell you one for less than $200. And just to be clear, if you're like, and it plays the games, no.
Oh, that's not this model.
No, not that.
But maybe you didn't want that anyways.
Well, you
just switch in your phone.
You want to do the typing in Microsoft Office, which used to matter, but now you just use Google Docs. It's a big, important F. It's the big F word. It's free.
Failure?
No, free.
Free.
The other F word.
Okay.
Free.
The The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
Let's talk about you coming on down.
And spinning the wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Everybody knew this answer.
Yeah, it was hard to get in, I'll tell you. Your question in the morning is, if you were on The Price is Right and you did spin the wheel, how much money would you get if you landed on the $1 mark?
Jason was first.
All right, Jason, how much do you get?
You get a $1,000 bonus.
That's
you
it.
are correct, sir.
Let's pretend Jason won. Yay! Well, you did win Riot Gear, so you got something.
That's something. Yeah. All right, man.
You have a wonderful day.
All right, thanks. You guys.
Bye-bye.
I'm thinking about The Price is Right because if you haven't seen it yet, you should take a look at the video of Drew Carey getting basically tackled by a Price is Right contestant.
This lady, she, wins or something, and she goes to hug him, but then suddenly jumps up and throws her legs around him,
yes.
And then they all topple over.
He was not ready for that. And to be clear, you're like, well, he's not very strong. I will tell you that if anybody hit you that way at just the right moment,
yeah, you wouldn't be able to.
You would topple. If you weren't ready for it, you
just
got to tighten your core.
Wrong angle.
Yeah, and so she pulls him down, and it's funny. And you know what? He actually handles it really well. He just starts laughing and gets up, and he's like, I'm okay. And then she wins a car.
Hey.
So I think.
So she was just excited from winning the.
No. She was on Contestants Row.
She won Contestants Row.
She did.
Won up. She was excited from that, and that's where she just leaped on him.
Yes, she did. And then they said, the announcer's like, please don't break our host. You just won a brand new car.
Yay!
Like that. So she won a car.
Oh, it's like you're watching the show.
She didn't jump on him the second time. So everybody, Drew's okay.
Oh, that's embarrassing. All your friends and family are like, please don't watch.
Yeah, I see. The thing is, I don't feel like that's embarrassing for Drew Carey at all. I have to give him total props for handling it really well.
That's embarrassing for her.
For the girl, it's just way to go. All right? As far as I'm concerned, you might as well have just tackled Santa Claus. Drew Carey's there to give us free toys.
And you almost ruined him.
And your answer is, I will break you. No.
Well, maybe it'll just go away.
Dude, she'll never live that down because here's the other thing, too. You're on Price is Right. You're so excited. And what do you want to do? You want to tell all your friends that you're on The Price is Right. But then you have to weigh that with then all of your friends are going to see you tackling Drew Carey. Do you tell them? Or are you just
wait for it to happen?
You're like, hey, nice new car. Yeah, they were having a 6 years same as cash deal. So I.
No, you know what would be the worst? I would have the hardest time with is just knowing how things can go viral. Not even when it first airs, but years down the road. You just never know when something might get picked up. So you're the lady that jumped and knocked down Drew Carey. You always live in that fear of when will it go viral? To where it gets 1 million views super, super fast. Even, again, years down the road, you just don't know.
The internet doesn't forget. You go for a job interview, and they're like, oh, look who's here.
You were here.
Don't tackle us.
Yeah, we might not hire you.
Hang on, let me put on my back brace before you come in.
You won't live that down.
No, never. You'll try.
So every morning you wake up, and you
Terrified.
just check. Because now, it's made news, but I don't think it's everywhere.
No, but it will be. It will be. They Google your name, and guess what comes up? And just to be clear, when you go for a job, they Google. Oh,
they
definitely
At
Google.
least she won something from it. It'd be worse if she lost and she was the person that tackled him.
And now every time she gets in the car, she's like, my public humiliation is all this car costs me.
Oh, beep, beep. It's okay.
Oh, no.
I got a car.
It does the loser horn when she hits the horn.
It's the Price is Right song, but then it just slows down.
Oh,
well, congratulations to her for winning and for Drew Carey for being a good sport.
Yeah, and Nikki and I humiliate ourselves daily. We didn't get a car out of it.
You get used to it.
Starting your day with the worst of the Riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Earlier this morning, we asked a very important question, and that was, what are you eating for breakfast? Now, some of you aren't eating anything, and that's, of course, your choice. But I can tell you that at some point, once I figured out that we were doing The Riot for more than a couple of months, I began to realize that I was going to have to eat something to come in here and do this.
Because even when we eat, we still feel hungry, during the rest of the show. But you got to have something to start it off.
You got to have something. And so
now we're trying to get some more ideas since, the one guy was having pie today for breakfast. Those looked really good.
Is that Andrew?
Andy?
No. You're right. It was Andy. Andy was eating pie. He says they're better than Pop-Tarts. Well, he's right. He has like mini pies, but he's got two of them, a blueberry and an apple.
Blueberry pie sounds so good. And I don't know why, but that'll work.
All right, he took a picture. I'm going to take a stab and say that he probably has like a real job. Like he seems like he's out there making something or working hard, eating pie. It's no big deal. I'm eating pie.
You mean like the work he's doing during the day is okay for the calorie content?
The pie. It's no big deal.
We're like, we sit here for so many hours and we're not working it off.
But it's probably not going to work out. So Noah, he's our, what do you call it, bodybuilder guy. He said he drinks a carton of pasteurized egg whites and a cup of plain oatmeal.
It's even egg whites. Like, it's just boring.
Derek, now here's my boy. He knows what's up. He said this morning for breakfast, 2 cups of Sprite from McDonald's and 5 sausage burritos.
That'll do.
Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere.
Doesn't that McGriddle sound good? And I never liked them, but it's something about
They're delicious.
it.
A McGriddle.
The chicken one. I like the chicken McGriddle.
I'll eat a chicken McGriddle. All right. You know what else I'll eat? Not very far from here. I mean, so far that you could probably drive over there and be back in time is a White Castle where we could get a Belgian waffle chicken sandwich.
Okay, I'm going to say this. You ready?
I'm listening.
The little chicken biscuit things
from
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, my gosh.
The little tiny things.
And they got like honey. It's the honey that really.
Instead, we had a smoothie or toast.
I made toast and like a toast and egg sandwich.
You want to hear what people are eating just because it's better than what we had?
No, you know what? I'm honestly asking. I'm just curious what people are eating for breakfast because I feel like I've got like 2 or 3 things that I'm eating for breakfast
in rotation,
and maybe I could add 1 or 2 and like add some variety in there. So, I used to eat eggs every morning, and I've realized I can't. I've got to rotate eggs. So it's like, well, what else could I throw into rotation here? Some other good
don't be
things.
afraid. Again, other cultures.
I'm afraid right now.
We don't have a breakfast food. Like, you just have food. You could just branch out and just have food.
All right. Rachel says scones.
Nice.
Scones sound pretty good. Let's see. Randall says a Pop-Tart and some water. Okay, sure. That's doable.
Can you imagine if you had a steak for breakfast or something? With some rice. Doesn't that sound good? Like a little bowl?
Steak and rice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Hey, Aaron says chocolate peanut butter oatmeal with banana. Ooh, I like the way that sounds. I'd eat that. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'm just saying, stop by, say what's up. Text or call 877-2-RADIO-U. I realize you're like, well, who cares? Hey, it's the most important meal of the day, and I'm trying to get it figured out. So tell me what you got.
Oh, no.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the Radio U app.
Let's be honest. Most of the stuff you're going to come across today, you can take it. I mean, you're going to whine. You're going to. That's what you do. I do.
That's a given.
I mean, whining's what you do, but I think
whining is your way of your body's coping.
Yeah, you're getting it out. It's cathartic. But here's something I have found is that I've got stuff in my life right now that I could whine about. And I typically just eventually be like, stop whining. Let's just do it. Whatever. But here's what I have been doing lately is that instead of whining about something I don't know, something's going on that I'm whatever. I take some time and I ask God to help me with it. Now, what I've been doing is I actually made a little list of the things that are bothering me, going on, whatever. The things that I normally whine about.
Yeah.
It's like, here's my whine list. And so it's got a nice Chardonnay, whatever. But every, a couple times a day, I'll share my wine list with God. Like, these are the finest grapes, smushed out of the finest. But I seriously will talk to God like, all right, there's this, and this. And right now, and you might think well, that list is probably 100 miles long. Right now, it has 4 things on it. There are 4 things on my wine list that are things that I'm like, I could probably maybe handle them. Like if I, applied myself in whatever. But I've started to realize I don't have to. I mean, apply myself? No. What I mean is that I don't have to do it on my own. Like, I don't have to. And so what I've been doing, I got these 4 things that I'm asking God, like, okay, God, I need help with this. And I don't know whether it's like, hey, you're going to miracle it away and what that person's going to suddenly die. No, not that. But you get what I mean. Or is it going to be you're going to show me how to handle it? Or like, is there something I'm missing? Whatever. But these things I've got on my wine list, and God and I are talking about them a couple times a day. And I'll tell you, as of right now, there's still 4 things on it.
But is it nice to have someone to talk to about it all the time? It's
nice to have somebody to talk to about it. And let me just tell you something else. Last week, I had 2 other things on my wine list, and 2 of those things have resolved. And honest to goodness, they resolved better than I thought they could have. I was praying about something like, I'm going to pray about this, but we all know this is going to happen and that's going to happen and that's going to happen. But I'm still going to pray. I'm going to ask God to help me with this. And do you know that the 3 bad things I thought would happen didn't happen? And it went better than I thought it would. I went better than I thought it could. So look, what I'm trying to tell you is not that you're not going to keep doing your day, but today you could take your wine list, maybe make that list, and then go to God and say, all right, God, look, here's the stuff that's really bothering me, and I could use some help with it. And remember, it can be big or small. Like, it doesn't have to be like, God, I can't feel my toe, or my car has exploded. It could be, boy, so-and-so's driving me crazy, or like, gee, I wish, I don't know. What is your thing? That's between you and God. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus, this might all sound like complete nonsense, but it's not. You can have a relationship with God for yourself. Just say, Jesus, come into my life. Fill me with your spirit. God, I want to know what you're about. I want you to show me how to live. I've got a wine list. And don't feel like you have to wait. You can immediately ask God about the stuff that, is going on and just jump right in and ask for help and hear what he has to say about it.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Did you see the Burger King video yesterday?
The ad? I've not seen it yet, like for the big hamburger, the little viral thing they're trying to do.
Not that. It was their explanation of net neutrality.
Yes, that.
Well, wait, does it end with an ad for a burger?
No, it's all in promotion with their new hamburger thing they're doing. The really big one?
Wait, what's the one that's like 2.5 minutes long?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so, all right, I'll be honest.
Burger King's just wanting you to look at them, because then on the other side, they're promoting this hamburger that they came out with, the big giant one, I think.
I didn't see anything in here that was specifically promoting. Are you talking about their big giant hamburger, the Whopper?
No.
Is that
okay,
that they just came out with?
I hate you. Oh, Burger King.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm being a little snarky, but I don't.
I thought they came out with
They did come out with like a double quarter pounder, because McDonald's has a double quarter pounder or something like that, and they're kind of mocking
King
it.
Large hamburger. The big one. No, I know they've been talking about that, and so then I thought, well, the net neutrality one is just it's not a commercial for it, but it's just they're just trying to get out there.
They are. Well, they are. And, a lot of times as an organization, if you go and support another organization, it makes you look big-hearted.
Sure.
And so what they're doing is they're explaining net neutrality. And it basically comes down to them saying, like, hey, certain people are getting their Whoppers faster because they paid more for each Whopper. And, they're trying to explain net neutrality. But I do think it's something that you would enjoy. It's not perfect, and I've seen a lot of people that are like, net neutrality doesn't really work that way.
It's a situation. Like, I don't want to dive too deep into that, but when it comes to hamburger, sure, we'll try to learn that way.
I'm just going to tell you that if you have something that you're trying to teach me and you're looking for a way to teach me, like, hey, Obadiah, we want to show you the way the world works. If you begin to explain it to me with hamburgers, you are right. You're in the sweet spot. Just promise me that when it's over, we get a hamburger. Which, of course, that's probably what they're hoping, is that I'll go then buy a hamburger.
Well, I went to the site, the Double Quarter Pounder King. I think that's the one.
That's their thing?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
Why is there so many calories in that? Like you think, a hamburger patty and not too bad. And then you're like, that's the one that's like 12 or 1,300 calories. It's huge. It looks so good.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At this point, all burgers look good. We're back on that breakfast discussion now, but I don't know if it's kind of worth checking out. Like, it's their take on net neutrality. If you really dig into net neutrality, here's what you'll find. People, they're like, this is the best. No, these are the reason why it's not the best. It's very hard to find a
neutral talk on it.
It's hard to find a neutral presentation on net neutrality. But Burger King is at least trying to help you understand what it means. And they're giving you a way that you can write a petition, because those change everything. Did you see the thing where the FCC was digging through petitions and they found out like a couple of million of them were fake because they all came from fake made up Pornhub email addresses? So it's working.
News.
It's working, guys.
It's just too much.
It's working.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's
Coffee and contemplation.
And the riot. Obviously. Radio U.
Got bad news. It's no longer safe to go to your mailbox just to deal with the mail at all.
There's
anymore.
nothing there anyways.
Maybe something?
No, not
Maybe
nowadays.
your Amazon package accidentally got shipped to USPS.
And they put it in there. That is one thing.
I mean, that's something, right? We've got a guy, Rodrigo Franco. He's just been arrested in Los Angeles because he mailed 3 live king cobra snakes to L.A. in potato chip cans.
Really? Like
that
Pringle
means
cans?
There's a chance that your letters are letters. Okay, you're not writing those, but you know what I mean. Your stuff is bumping up against potato chip cans that are full of snakes.
But those would be baby snakes.
Well,
those are tiny ones.
Do you think that matters?
Well, I think it does.
You think it matters?
I think if someone was sending a bigger one, yeah, I think that would matter more.
Do you think that when you opened the can and you were like, hey, snakes, why does it hurt so much?
What's going
Why
on?
can't I see anymore?
Be curious to see how that packaging was done, how he wrapped that up.
I've got photos if you're interested. You want to see
So why
it?
was he sending snakes in the mail?
Because
Which is a new movie coming soon.
It's a sequel to one you've heard. Snakes on the Plane, Snakes in the Mail. I mean, we've just been talking about 5- and 6-year-old movies that are getting sequels. Why not this?
So he's basically a smuggler.
He smuggles snakes, brings them here, and people buy them.
He tried to get another 20 cobras into Los Angeles, but they died along the way.
Oh.
And he tried to mail protected turtles from the United States to Hong Kong, and federal agents got that.
I don't feel as bad about the turtles.
Well, they're going for soup, so
you think?
probably.
You think that's what it is?
Is someone buying things like to others that would be exotic to put in like a pet? No,
We aren't. Listen,
It's not that way.
I'm not going to get into what it all is, but anytime somebody wants to buy an exotic animal, it's always because they think it's herbal Viagra. I said it. That every freaking animal that they are slaughtering for whatever, they're like, it makes you vital.
There were 3 albino Chinese soft-shelled turtles in the package.
A soft-shelled turtle? Poor guys, they don't even have a hard shell?
And 3 king cobras, each about 2 feet long, and those were found at the Customs and Border Protection offices when they inspected the package, which was being mailed. Those were coming from Hong Kong, so it seems like he goes back and forth with stuff.
Yeah, Oh, gosh, no. You know what? If you said to me, Obadiah, we can make you a millionaire, but you're going to have to be a snake smuggler, I would be like, and he died penniless alone.
When you look at the picture of the albino turtle, that is weird.
Mm-hmm.
No thanks.
And somebody wants to eat it?
Yeah, probably in a soup.
No, I'm out. I don't feel like I'm going to be a very good smuggler, Nikki. I want to be like Han Solo, where I have a spaceship and little compartments, but I'm going to be smuggling, I don't know, something else in there.
Potato chips.
It's not going to be alive.
Just food, but not little creatures.
I love that. I want to smuggle potatoes to a place where potatoes are very rare, and people are really excited about potatoes.
There's rules and laws, and you can be the outlaw that way, but that's it.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, come here.
He says,
you want to buy a bag of chips?
Reptiles are my passion, though. He was an ex-auto mechanic.
What?
And
they're not your passion? You just killed 20 of them.
He's sentenced to 2 years of supervised release for what he was doing.
Man, and he's out there like, they took my snakes. They took my snakes.
Had the cobras, turtles, there was a crocodile, so he had lots of stuff.
All right, well, someone else has to get the mail from now on. I can't go out there. Sorry.
Okay, if I went to my mailbox and there was it is like a can of Pringles, but it's a Hong Kong version. It's a little bit smaller.
What would we do? We'd assume someone sent it for a taste test. No. We'd be like, look, guys, taste test.
I wouldn't believe that. You would feel the weight of the snake in there.
I'd make you open it. From now on, Nikki, you have to open the boxes. I can't.
All right, well, next Riot Food Fight, though, please don't send us any reptiles.
No, not even a derivative.
If you don't say no, then they might assume we want one. So we just say no, and now everybody knows.
All right, thanks, Nikki. Important safety tip.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
What do you think about having a cell phone at a concert?
I think it's fine. I know some bands don't like it as much. They want you in the moment, and they don't want that to be you just holding your phone up at them.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I mean, you want memories of it.
You know, Nikki, of all the people I would ask if they want their phone at a show,
I would say yes.
I realize you're not going to be a representative sample.
Sure.
Because you would be like, I have to respond to these emails right now.
No, that's not it.
I'm at the show. I'm writing emails.
You're going to make me seem not fun. I don't check my emails always. I don't.
Nikki.
If I'm at a concert, I'm not.
Hang on a second. Wait a second. Could you stand up for me? Are your pants on fire right now? Are your pants on fire?
They're not.
Okay, are you sure?
Oh, no. Maybe a little smoke.
Down there at the bottom, because I can't see you very well. It's getting dark over there.
But at concerts, they also, for different venues and stuff, like if you're going to be posting it, not everybody wants what they feel to be their content posted without their approval.
Okay, well, a list of some high-profile performers. You've got Dave Chappelle, Alicia Keys, and then yesterday, Jack White announced a tour that's happening this year. And at his show, it's not just a matter of, okay, we respectfully ask that you would take your cell phone and put it in whatever. No, he's teamed up with some company called Yonder, in which...
You're checking him in when you go in?
Yes, you are.
Whatever. That makes you seem so grumpy and old.
You have to check your phone in at the door. You cannot take your phone in at all. And, they're going to be checking you.
That's because they don't want their stuff posted.
No, Nikki. They want it to be, and I quote, a human experience.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm. So if you do have photos you want to share, you have to repost them from either his website or share from his Instagram account. So, you'll submit them, and they may post them for you.
I gotcha.
But apparently then you'll have to... get permission to do it in advance. I don't know how that'll work.
This seems like too much work and too legal for you're just going to a concert to enjoy it.
Here's what he says. He wants it to be a 100% human experience, and he says that he's previously stated that he let the fans tell him what to do, and that's difficult when they're too busy live tweeting each song. So he says instead of paying attention to the concert, people are paying attention to their phone, and he doesn't want that anymore.
But I don't think, and artists have to understand this too, I don't think it's one way or the other. Like it's, everybody's on your phone the entire time, or no, you're not allowed to have your phone in there. Because for some, like a friend can't come. Well, maybe you're sharing part of it so they can feel like they're at the experience, which builds someone liking your music, and maybe they'll go to another show.
I will say, what's his name? Jeremy from Crusoe and Abandoned Kansas. He told us, it was the last time we talked maybe? But he was saying that he's like, it's so common to be on stage at a show. And he's like, that people are there because they want to be. They've paid money to get into your concert. You're the headlining band. You've got all of these people. And he said, you still see half the crowd staring at their phone during a song. And I feel that, as someone that goes out and does public speaking, it is very distracting when you are trying to perform and people are obviously very interested in something that is not what you're doing. But, man, making people lock up their phones.
You can't go all the other way. Because then they're just going to be staring at you, not still maybe interacting. But then you're just like, we don't know what to do.
Oh, you know what?
Because I haven't been without my phone for that long. I have to go now.
I feel like we're going to have to post this on our Facebook page. I just want to know if people would be willing to... Would you be willing to hand over your phone in order to get into a concert?
That would stop me from going to the concert.
I know. But you know what? Zach and I were at Universal Orlando in September, and to get on is it the Rock and Roller Coaster? Whatever which is a good coaster, by the way. you were not allowed to have your phone on it. And
that I think is a safety thing because they don't want you trying to get that out and just, recording it and then, oops, you've dropped your phone.
Sure. Well, we don't want you to drop it at the concert.
I don't know.
No?
Worst of the riot, not enough? Not enough? Check the blog and all things Riot at riot.radiou.com.
Do you remember that Nintendo, they put out some games for phones, right?
Yeah.
We had Mario.
Super Mario Run.
And then we had
the
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Is that what it's called?
I believe Pocket Camp, yeah.
Something like that? Okay, but do you remember what the first thing was that Nintendo put out on phones?
I feel like, is this a trick? I don't know.
Which one was it? Was it Animal Crossing? Was it Mario?
Well, Mario I thought was first.
What about Fire Emblem? Was it Fire Emblem?
No, that came first. No, wait, I don't know.
All right.
You're going to have to tell us.
It was Miitomo.
What's Miitomo?
Exactly.
What's that one?
Exactly. It was like
the Me thing.
Yep.
I didn't think that was a game. I thought that was just like, here's your Me, and you can do stuff with that.
It's a kind of game. Like, you're holding your phone, you're having fun.
No offense to Nintendo, but I think the Me stuff is kind of...
Oh, Nikki, you're one of the reasons they killed the Miiverse.
I'm not the only one.
They did that, right? The Miiverse is gone.
Because it was kind of ridiculous and no one did anything with it.
Well, it could have been that it was a good idea that was poorly structured, not very well made.
Yeah, you could send messages to your friends, customize your Mii's room, browse the latest fashion style. I'm looking at the App Store preview of it.
Mm-hmm. And they're pulling the plug. Nintendo has not been as successful in the mobile space as I think a lot of people thought they would be. Because, though, I don't know, it's hard to tell. I just know people that like video games. I've talked to a lot of them that have not liked the versions that they have put on phones, like the Animal Crossing or the Mario.
Well, it's not going to be the same. It's not able to be created in that way.
Right.
Like for Super Mario Run, he just keeps running, and so you can't go back and...
Right.
I would love that to be able to happen. I want to play Mario.
Right.
But there's limitations, at least for now, and so that's what you get.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of Animal Crossing, but a lot of people that I talk to, again, they're like, man, it's just this stupid... It's like a mobile game. I just want to play Animal Crossing.
Sure.
So, a lot of people I've talked to are like, hey, I would pay $20 or $30 if you would just give me a full Animal Crossing experience on my phone. Don't worry. That's going to come to the Switch. And that way they'll have to charge you $300 first and then $50 or $60 for the full Animal Crossing experience.
You're right. So for Pocket Camp, for the Animal Crossing, I really liked that for the first 2 days. And then it is that pressure of, I got to go check in.
I got to get my daily rewards.
I can't do that anymore. So I dumped it. But I go back to Super Mario Run and I go through phases. I still like to play that.
I have that on my phone and I played it for 5 minutes.
Got to go into it more. Because that one you can pick back up anytime. It's not like you have your daily reminder that your fish is ready or something. It's like, I can go fishing. Okay, great.
No, you know what, though? The daily stuff isn't always bad. I get really annoyed with that on my phone, but I'll have to say, I've been playing, what was that, Assassin's Creed Origins? They have a daily quest that you can go and do every day, and it drops legendary loot.
Whoa!
Legendary!
I wasn't getting that.
Sometimes it's usually legendary. Sometimes it's a gold normally, but sometimes it'll be a purple.
Yeah.
But, man, when you get that gold... Come on.
It's a good day.
Come on, gold.
So if you were still using Miitomo...
It's gone. Well, not yet. You've got until May 9th. So tell all your friends how all the fun you're not going to be having.
Your Me-style stuff is going away.
You're going to have to switch over to WhatsApp or Facebook or Snapchat or... all these existing things that already do everything they wanted you to do.
When I had a Wii, I didn't do too much on it because it was so poorly set up. And then I don't even know what the Switch stuff, but the Me and the Nintendo Friendverse,
it's a train wreck.
Was just a horrible experience compared to Xbox or PlayStation.
It's not better now.
It's no better. Yeah, they need to overhaul that.
At least to me, it doesn't seem any better. But you know what? I just gave up. I've given up on having friends on the Switch. Not friends.
We'd like to, but
I still want to have friends.
Switch friends don't work.
It's not even
worth it. And mostly
worth.
then that just means a Nintendo friend does not work.
And you're talking to two people that are very tech savvy that each own a Switch, and we could be Switch friends. And you know what? It's not even worth the effort. Just forget it.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to fireobadiah@radiou.com.
Have you noticed that your postal worker is driving a Maserati?
Is that a bit suspicious?
That may be something. Now, I know that, of course, postal workers, some people are working at the post office because they want to. Perhaps your postal worker is a very wealthy man or woman who has decided, I want to serve the public and be out there, and so I'm going to do my mail route, but I think I might drive this Maserati from time to time while I do it.
Now, why do I feel like maybe the postal person did not get the Maserati in a honest way?
Well, maybe you're familiar with the way the world works, Nikki. Naquan Wilson, 28 years old. He's from New Jersey, and here's what he's been doing for the last 8 months. He works at the post office.
One for me, one for you. One for me, one for you. Is that the approach?
Pretty much. So here's what would happen. You know how your credit card comes in the mail and you have to activate it?
Yeah.
He would feel around, find some credit cards. Then he would take those credit cards home. Then he would use Bitcoin to get on the dark web and hire people to get all the information that he needed about you to activate your credit card. Then he would go to the mall with this is the part that I just don't understand, with a sock full of credit cards. And he would buy
away?
Yes. And here's what's really weird. The people at the mall started referring to him as the sock man because he would show up and buy a bunch of stuff with credit cards and a sock. And so there was the sock thing was
that his wallet?
I guess people would remember him like, oh yeah, it's the guy with the credit cards and the sock. And they also started to realize that he would go out into the parking lot and take all of these purchases from the mall, load them into his Maserati, and he would open things in the parking lot. He didn't know how to keep it quiet.
Sure. Well, yeah, you're supposed to lay low and just get in and get a thing and then go.
So
why didn't anybody call him on it? Were they all under his name, or how did he do the identity thing?
I don't know. Some
a lot
level
of times
of identity theft.
They'll check, your card if it's signed or something, or if it was for Betsy, maybe someone would have noticed, oh, this is not Betsy.
Well, how it is. You go they say the mall, but you could hit up Walmart. When's the last time somebody asked to see your ID when you checked out?
Well, mine has my picture on it, so I think that's what helps.
I mean, you put the card in the chip reader, you're out of there.
Yeah, no one notices.
I mean, the last time I went to Best Buy, I spent $200. Nobody looked at anything. They just oh, thanks for coming.
That's why someone opened a Kohl's credit card in my name.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, and they charged some items. And
well, you like to get some housewares.
Yeah, just had some fun with that.
It's good.
I hated that time.
Mm-hmm. So they, of course, have found him because not because the people at the mall said anything. They found him because the people were expecting those credit cards were getting bills for
just like I got. I didn't know someone opened the card until I got a Kohl's bill. And I was I don't have a card.
What is this?
I didn't buy this stuff, and then you have to go through and clean it all up.
Mm-hmm. So they ended up finding him. They went to his house. They found that he had $30,000 in cash, handguns, designer shoes, luxury handbags. He must have had a girlfriend, or maybe he just likes handbags. And let's see.
Those are easy to sell. So
they did. Oh, you know what? That's a good call. You just buy them and then you sell them on eBay or something like that. So, no, his girlfriend was also arrested for her involvement in the illegal purchases. So
no, guys.
Mm-hmm. He's right now on $50,000 bail, which he may be putting on your credit card. So, if they allow that.
If he's allowed to pay for it that way.
Yeah.
The Riot.
Apparently, some of the less athletic types go nuts for this stuff.
Radio U.
You know what? I've become a little lackadaisical because I realize I'm probably going to see the end of the world in my lifetime. But unfortunately, we're going to see great heartache and pain before the end comes. And you're like, whoa, Obadiah, this is dark. Well, you know what? Let's talk about people that keep poking around at Antarctica. They need to stop.
Someone feels that there must be something frozen down below, hidden, put there, so that they figured no one's going to go and disturb this evil presence.
Listen, I can't confirm it, but I know in my heart that Antarctica in the ancient tongue means resting place of great evil. And so what happened was, you remember Pangea? You guys haven't heard my theory? Okay, gather around.
I'll come closer to the right. Turn us up.
You know how
Turn us up.
All the continents kind of fit together? You guys remember that? And it looks like they broke apart over time. They did not. The ancient people faced down a great evil. They broke Antarctica off from the rest of the world and buried the evil there and put it down south where it would freeze and it wouldn't be able to get out. And they're like, tell your children and your children's children about what we did here today. And
no, they didn't even do that because they assume no one's going to come here. Well, no one.
It's so freaking cold down there. Nobody's going to bother.
And now you've got leisure cruises down there.
They're like, I know. Let's start digging. There must be something down here. Great idea. It's perfect. If you've seen the documentary Alien versus Predator, you know some of what they found under that ice.
Is that a documentary? Are you sure?
That's how they categorized it. I'm just telling you what I saw. Okay, I am. Well, now Greenpeace is down there, and they're not part of the solution at this point. They say they've found all kinds of life growing on the seafloor in Antarctica. And they do have a good idea. They say they should set up a 700,000 square mile sanctuary so that nobody can fish or do anything.
Sure.
And I don't know how much ocean that really is around Antarctica, but I think that the message is clear. We should leave Antarctica alone.
Because I can see this as a movie. What was that one with the shark where it's like the
Megalodon?
Shark? No, it was like the shark observatory thing or the
Deep
lab.
Blue Sea?
Yeah, like it's the lab. And so this will be what they build down there because they're going to try to make sure that nothing's disturbed. But by doing that, to make a plant, like they'll disturb it.
Right.
And it'll be there and there'll be lab workers. And then suddenly the big window out to the water and the ice, you'll see this creature coming at it.
Hey, Sarah, come here. Look what we found. Isn't it beautiful? That's how it always starts.
They'll find the baby version of the evil thing, and then it'll call the evil over.
I can't allow you to hurt it. When if you just killed it, even though it was cute, it would have been fine. But nope, it's fine. That's how ancient evil gets released. In case you're wondering, that's how it happens.
So you feel like that'll happen during your lifetime if they keep touching stuff in Antarctica?
If people keep doing that, they've got a submarine down there poking around, looking at stuff. What are you doing?
I'm sure it's deeper.
We don't know. We don't know. Because it's been so long since something's been down there.
You laugh at it, but it's like, what if you're right?
What if I'm onto something,
What if there
right?
is something down there?
There's just enough of a sliver of truth.
Even if it's not like the greatest evil, but if it's just something bad.
What if it's just minor evil? You know, what if it's just like the nations of the world have to nuke Antarctica?
And then that sets off this chain reaction.
And then that's part of the trap because we unleash that nuclear heat in the South Pole and then it melts Antarctica and we're like, what have we done?
I don't want to hear any more about it. It's fine. I'm sure we'll be good.
Okay, if you say so. All right. I'm trying to trust you, Nikki. I am.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Mark Wahlberg says he wants to have an all-natural baby.